Is this where we stopped?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we are going to do 4 more of these. We are just going to work at them. So what I would do is I would get a graphing calculator. If you do not have a graphing calculator, please raise your hand. I have 2 right here.
No, I don't want to go past the camera. I'm going the long way.
Even though you're talking on the camera.
Well, it's a little different. I actually like my voice.
I don't.
No, that's not true because you just said I was your favorite, so that can't be.
But you said that you understood his humor too.
that I what?
You understood his humor.
And I just said it doesn't matter what I say, you'll still believe it, so I'll just play along with the delusion.
My pencil was gone. Okay.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to factor. So when I ask myself, does anything cancel out? The answer is no, so I'm not going to have any holes. Vertical asymptotes. How many vertical asymptotes am I going to have? 2. 1 at x equals -3, and 1 at 2. Horizontal asymptotes. What case am I under? Is the degree bigger on the top, bottom, or are they equal? Bottom. So what does that mean about the horizontal asymptote? That is incorrect. There is one. It is y equals 0. Slant asymptote. Is the degree of the top one larger than the degree of the bottom? No. So there is not going to be a slant asymptote. Next, what is the x-intercept? X equals -2. Make sure you put that x equals and y equals. Y-intercept. What is f of 0? Two over -18. We are always going to reduce that to -1/9. Then, please get your handy-dandy graphing calculator out. I would graph the original. Make sure if you're working with the 83, you put those both in parentheses. Vertical asymptotes at -3. Yes, you have to make those noises. X equals 2. Horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. No slant asymptote, x-intercept at -2. Now, we always think of asymptotes of not being able to pass, or not functions not being able to pass through asymptotes. Only thing I'm concerned about the asymptotes, the horizontal are on the end, so it's not going to pass through verticals, but it can pass through horizontals, and I'll show you that on this one. Y-intercept of -1/9, right down here. Now, what we're going to do to actually graph it is go into your y equals, plot it out. What it's going to look like is this right here. I am not expecting a Picasso, but I am expecting something decent. Questions?
So it's allowed to do that?
Yes.
Like do the little flip thing?
It is allowed to pass through this asymptote, but just not at the ends.
Is it allowed to do that for like a slant?
It's usually not going to pass through a slant.
Okay.
Questions? Okay, moving on. So this is a systematic thing. We just keep those, what we need to know about the rational functions in our head. going to factor a GCF out, and then I'm going to factor
Someone's got
what?
nothing. Sorry.
Do you understand what's going on?
Me? This? Or her?
Do I have any holes?
Yes.
Yes, why?
Because x plus 1 and x plus 1.
Because the x plus 1 cancels out. So this is a hole at x equals -1. I am going to reduce that rational, and I am going to make that x plus 3 over 2 times x minus 4. Yep, I need a negative. Next, what is a vertical asymptote?
X equals negative. Wait, positive 4.
X equals 4, set denominators equal to 0. Horizontal asymptotes, which case am I under? Is it a degree larger on the top, bottom, or are they equal?
Equal.
They're equal, so what does that tell me about the horizontal asymptote?
1.
It is not 1.
It's numerator. Or the coefficient.
It's the
Oh.
coefficients.
Okay.
Correct. So what are the coefficients?
1 and negative.
1 over -2. So that is y equals -1/2.
I keep forgetting about that.
Is there a slant asymptote? Is the degree of the top one larger than the degree of the bottom?
No.
No. X-intercept, where is this going to cross the x-axis?
-3.
X equals -3. Please make sure to write x equals or y equals, or it's wrong. I will take partial credit off. Y-intercept, where is this going to cross the y-axis?
3/8.
3/8. X equals or y equals?
Y equals.
Y equals positive 3/8. So in your handy dandy calculator, please graph that out.
It doesn't, like, when you're graphing it, it doesn't matter which equation you do, right?
You mean the original or
Yeah.
the reduced? No, it does not.
Okay.
Just make sure you type it in appropriately. Vertical asymptote at x equals 4. Horizontal asymptote at y equals 1/2, negative. X-intercept at -3. Y-intercept at 3/8. Now, I can tell that this is going to look like this. The last thing I have to do is insert that hole in there at -3. So I'm going to find where that -1. So where it crosses here at -1, I'm going to put a hole in the graph. Understand that it's not on the x-axis, it is on the function. Questions?
No.
Any questions at all? All right. We have one more after this. So first of all, first thing I'm going to do is factor. Does anything cancel out?
No.
No, so there are going to be no holes. Vertical asymptotes at,
-4.
X equals.
thank you very much, x equals -4. Horizontal asymptote, is the degree higher on the top, bottom, or are they equal?
Top.
Top, so what does that mean about horizontals? There is not going to be any. Slant asymptote. Does the degree of the top one larger than the degree of the bottom?
Yes.
Yes. So we are going to have a slant asymptote. So I'm going to take 3x plus 12 and divide it by x squared plus 3x plus 0. What do I need to multiply 3x by to get x to the second?
1/3 x.
1/3 x. Remember, I'm just looking for a line. Draw the line, switch the signs, and add. Then I am going to see what do I need to multiply 3x by to get a negative x.
Negative 1/3.
Negative 1/3. So my slant asymptote y equals 1/3 x minus 1/3. X-intercept, where is this going to cross the x-axis?
X equals -3.
And?
0.
And 0. Yes, I do have 2. Just set that x equal to 0. Y-intercept, where does it cross the y-axis?
1/4.
Incorrect, it is not 1/4. Note that there is a 0, or there is an x paired with that 3. So if I put, what's the top when I insert?
Oh, okay, I get it now.
What's the top when I insert 0?
0.
0. What's the bottom when I insert 0? 12. What's 0 over 12? 0. Now I'm going to graph this bad boy. X equals -4 vertical asymptotes. No horizontal asymptotes. Slant asymptote at 1/3 x minus 1/3. Y-intercept at -1/3. Slope of positive 1/3. That's just for the slant asymptote. X-intercepts of 0 and -3. Then when you graph that, it is going to look like this. Yay!
Algebra.
Right? Not just algebra.
Algebra 2.
Algebra 2.
It's coming for you.
That's right.
Oh, I did that wrong.
What?
I messed it up, but it's okay. I forgot the pen erase. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I was freaking out because I messed it up. And I realized
It's funny that there's extra graphs on the back.
where?
What?
There's one extra graph.
Is that a...
I thought you said graphs plural.
You're my favorite student.
I know.
You better hope that this video works, because then it's going to be online forever.
I'm okay with that.
How's it going, Chappie McGee?
Good.
All right, first thing we're going to do is everybody's favorite F word in factor. I said that in front of Mr. Stout yesterday during my observation. Still have a job, so I think it's good.
Well, it's because you're encouraging factor to be everyone's favorite F word.
Is that a good thing?
Could be factor,
I
yeah.
think
There could be worse F words that there could be.
my favorite.
Yeah, fractions.
Yeah. I think my favorite F word is flamingo.
Okay.
That's what I think.
You and me both.
Yeah, she would be want to say, like, what? I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
What?
Nothing.
This is 6. Oops. Alright, here we go. First thing we're going to do is, do I have any holes?
Nope. Oh, the X. I forgot about the X.
So I have one at x equals 0. So my reduced fraction, or my reduced rational, where are my vertical asymptotes? Horizontal asymptotes, what degree or what case am I under? Is it larger on the top, bottom, or are they equal? Bottom, so that means
0.
y equals 0. Slant asymptotes. Is the degree of the top exactly 1 larger than the degree of the bottom?
No.
No, so there is none. X-intercepts, where does this cross the x-axis?
1. X equals 1.
X equals 1. Now, the y-intercept's a little bit difficult because remember, this would be 0 over 0, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into the reduced one. It is going to be a hole there, but it's just going to be a hole where it crosses. So if I find f of 0 from here, that is 2 times negative 1 over negative 3 times 2. So that will be 1/3. So it is going to cross there, but it will be a hole. So I'm going to put a hole at 1/3.
Why is there a hole? Oh, I forgot about that hole being there. I forgot. Sorry. That was my bad.
So first of all, vertical asymptotes at 3, negative 2. Horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. X-intercept at x equals 1. So this is going to look like